Chapter topic is function. Basically, in this video lecture, we have discussed about the functions, which type of functions are created in a Excel sheet, and which type of functions are generated through the Excel sheets. So, first of define is what is a function. A function is named operation. Basically, function is your name operation. Function have a three possible instructions. First one is name, second one is parenthesis, and third one is parameters arguments inside the parenthesis. This is the functions have. Functions have different responsibilities and different types of abilities to calculate it, how to define the functions, how to define a functions properties. First of all, how we write a function. For example, if I put some data in your Excel sheet. First, for example, this is A class, this is your B class, and C class. I have put some data, for example, some marks, 12, 14. Okay, first I put it data. If I have used three columns, first one column is A, B, and C, and then I have put some elements, for example, some numbers, random numbers, just to define how we write a sum functions.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੇਖੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ
How we do perform a sum operation. For the sum operation, what should I do? First of all, in your formula bar, if this is your fx is equal to is there. First, we select the column where number of column and the cell. For example, first we select the cell where we store your result. If you want to store your result at there, then you select this one. If you want to store result at the random space, then your choice, you select the cell. If I have mentioned that you select cell number, for example, if I mention cell number A10, the result will be stored in cell number A10. Then we select the cell number A10. If I mention the cell D10, yeah, D6, then you select the D6 and D5. Then you write the function name. If, for example, if I want to select the A7, result will be stored in A7. If A column, then we write how we write the formula of function. First is equal to is must. For every function, for every operation, for example, subtraction, multiplication, division, and any logical operation, and or not, and logic is every operation you must write is equal to first you insert is equal to, then you write your operation name. For example के तौर पे I want to sum sum. If you write s, there is a different types of functions already available in your Excel sheet. You choose it from there, you choose it, you write it itself, is your own choice. For example, I write a sum, then you find the sum. This is your sum. Then sum is equal to, your parenthesis is start. First one is there is a number of argument, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. For example, if I write the sum in parenthesis open, then we there have a three different ways how we calculate a sum in Excel sheet. I will write the first one. Sum is equal to, you select cell number A2. If I write A2, then there is this, select the A2 value 12. A2 cell number, you can only write here, there is cell number, not a column value, not a row value. Complete cell number. There is A represents your column value, 2 represents your cell, 2 represents your row number. So we write A2. Then if you want to sum more than A6 of all A elements, you want to sum all the elements of A, then comma, next one A3. If I write A3, then they select the A3, comma, A4, comma, A5, and comma, A6. and close the parenthesis. This is the first way how to write a operations. This is the this is writing style is format for just sum, multiplication, division, not for all the logical operations. Is equal to sum a2, a3, a4, a5, a6. Then we press the enter. If I press the enter, then the sum answer is there. If I select this cell again, then the in formula bar they show the formula which values I selected for the sum operation. This is the first way how we write a sum operation. Now we go to second way. Second way for this. Okay, one more thing. If you select this cell again and you select this cell and you select any other column, then they change the whole value of your cell. So you should, if you press this enter, then go to the next cell. If if I select this cell again and then a is equal to a9, there is no value of a9, then the result is 0. Again, I write this same formula to understand. First, some keyword as first of all we write the is equal to sign, then sum. If you write in some small letter and the capital letter, no way. Sum, then we select the cell value a1. If I select the a1, they select your heading, but I only calculate the sum of these values. We can only use those cell numbers which have numerical values. For example, a2 comma a3, there we write a small letters. You should be write a small and you should be write a large capital letters. A3, a4 and a5, a6, and close the parenthesis. You must, if you want to close the parenthesis and select. There is answer of 67. This is the first way. Now we go move to second way. Second, for the second way, first we put a is equal to sign first, then keyword sum, and then we select the range of the cell. If I range of the cell is become b2 of to b6, so here we write b2 and then we put a colon. For range, if we want to select a range, then we put a column between the two cell values b2 and b6. If I write the b2 colon b6, then they automatically they select the whole values from these cells and this, and close the with parenthesis and enter. There is the sum value for b. The second way to write how to write the formula is equal to sum b2 colon b6. There we write a range. This is called a range. If I want to select the range, then we do this one. And for this formula bar, we write the colon between the two cell values. In this method, we select each column one by one, each select the each cell one by one, and then we put a comma between the each cell each cell values, and there we use a cell values, but starting cell value and the last cell value, and then in between the cell we put a colon. And the third way, if you easily create a sum, for example, is equal to sign is your must, then we write as same as it is c2 plus sign, then c3 plus sign, c4 plus sign, c5 plus sign, c6 plus, and then just enter. There is the result for the values. There is a three different way how we write a formulas. This is the simple formulas, not a complex formulas. So for this we can write this one as, and the second one is how we write again these functions are. For example, if you want to sum with 2-3 different values, or we can write the function again sum. I just only perform the sum operation in this window in this video, then we will do the another operations in the different videos. For example, if I write a sum of some random numbers, if you want to just I write a question, right, you calculate a sum of these random numbers, or I give out some random numbers in your question paper, you can just easily write this sum is equal to, for example, there's a random number is 1, shift plus sign is shift plus के साथ आप रहते हो 2 plus 3 plus sorry dollar sign not included plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 and then press, then they show the sum of these values, not the, they do not display the values, they display only the result of your sum values. And the first one method is this one, and then we have discussed another method we have want to write it. For example, if I say calculate the sum of these values that are displayed in your table, this is your table that are displayed in your table, but add 9, add 10 and 9 value in these values, in this value. I specified the I specified it to add a 9 and 10 value. After that, this is your table value. In table value you want to add a 9 and 10 value. There is a two different way how to use. First one is, for example, if I write the sum, shift sum, then we is same selection of a1, sorry, a2 comma a3 comma a4 comma a5 comma a6. Then I say add 9 and 10 value. You can easily put it 9 and 10 value there, 9 comma 10. We can add the values in this cell. If you are do not change the table value and do not change the table value count, then we add it, if I say can you add a 9 and 10 value, so you can write it there easily and then enter. If I use this, then the result is 86. If I simply do calculation of a to a6 value, this is 67, and then we add a 9 and 10 value, the result is 86. This is the another way how we calculate a sum. If the requirement is you add to a some constant value in your result. This is a possible way how we calculate the sum in three different ways. If I do with the sum, then we do with the same as a for as multiplication, same as for a division, same as for a subtraction. Basically, this is your parenthesis. This is your first starting of function is equal to is your starting function. Sum is your function name and parenthesis open. Then in parenthesis we pass the number of arguments. If you require to number of arguments, for example, if you add to sum only two elements, then we choose a two elements. If you want to sum the whole a whole table, then we add a whole table values. If only I restrict to add the, it's just simply I restrict to add the C2 to C6, then we use the C2 to C6 elements. This is where how to calculate the sum of different cells. This sum is column wise sum. You can sum from a row wise also, and you can calculate the sum of whole table. If I if I calculate a sum from row wise, then how we can perform this operation is equal to, then sum as again your function name, and then first we do with the row wise, then we change the value of row a2 a3 a4 a5, not the column value. Now we perform a sum column wise, we change the column name, not a row value. A1, for example, a2, sorry, comma, we perform a sum column wise, then we next one is b2 comma c3. This is called column wise sum, and is equal to, this is your column one, first column value sum, and this 67, it represents the row wise sum. In this case, we do not change the value of column, but we change the value of rows, and at that case we didn't change the row value but change the column values. And then we perform another way how to calculate this different whole table sum. If I select a cell is E9, for the whole table calculation we just write is equal to sum, then we select the value from there. For example, if I write A2 and the last cell value is on the C6 colon C6. If I write the C6, they select the whole values of the table and enter it. The answer is 322. This sum is for only A column. This sum is from only B column. This sum is from only C column. This sum is from only second row and the column is different. This is called the how we calculate a sum in different ways. If I write the sum is there, we want to calculate the sum of each values, each cell values, we can easily drag it. The sum is automatically calculated. If there is first we write the formula this one, and then if there we just only drag it. If this plus sign is occur, then only just drag down. If I drag down, they calculate automatically sum of these cells. Not required to write a formula again and again. Just we drag it, then they calculate the sum value, sum of these values. This is a this for the sum for first one, then second, then third, then fourth, and then the sum value of this one. So you can easily calculate the sum of in this way. This is the way how we write our functions in Excel sheet. First of all, select the is equal to sign is must, then your function name, then you open your parenthesis, then you pass the arguments, and then close the parenthesis. The two three different ways how we calculate the sum, how we calculate the different is first we write the each cell name. Second option is write the range of cells, if the starting of range and the ending range, and third one is the we can just only add it. And if you will call the add another functions, just for example add constant values, you can easily calculate it, change it. Discuss with how we write a function in Excel sheet and how we choose different way of functions.